Hi, my name is Rich Guinto. I'm the Worship and Creative Arts Pastor here at Spout Springs Church, as many of you know. And today's reading is from Romans 6, verses 5 through 7. Uh, the verse is really short, so let me just share it with you really quick. It says, "For if we have been united with him," meaning Jesus, "in a death like his, we will certainly also be united with him in a resurrection like his. For we know that our old self was crucified with Jesus, so that the body ruled by sin might be done away with, and that we should no longer be slaves to sin, because anyone who has died has been set free from sin." So, what this means is we are no longer slave to our passions when we call on the name of Christ. We remind ourselves of Christ's sacrifice, of Jesus' act on the cross and his resurrection. He conquered sin and death. And we have that power too. When we join the family, when we follow Christ, when we align ourselves with God's will and God's heart, that's our promise as well. Uh, that's what it means. What it means to me is that I don't have to be slave to my old passions myself, that I can constantly call on God's name and God's patience and His Spirit to help me to be more like Him, to treat others more like He would have me to treat them and as He treats others. And one story that's really drawn to my mind is this. So, if any of you guys have been worshiping with us this past week, you would have remembered a song on our roster. It said, "Ain't No Grave." It's an old classic that has been done for many years. I think Johnny Cash made it popular several years ago. This is one arrangement by Bethel, but one particular line it really connects with me is in the bridge. Actually, he says, "If you walked out of the grave, I'm walking too." You know, "Since you walked out of the grave, I'm walking too." So, in other words, Jesus rose from the dead, and eventually, even if I pass away before the end of all time, God's going to raise us back up, and we're going to see some glorious and exciting things. But even before then, before the end of time, before the reunion of heaven and earth, when we have a new heaven and a new earth, God can give us the power to live righteously, to do and make right choices, and to correct bad choices and bad decisions. So I want to encourage you with that today, that you have the power of the resurrection of Jesus Christ at your disposal.